Hey, and welcome to what I think might be my first vlog update of 2025. Is that right? And it is now April. Wow, how did that happen? Um, as promised, I stopped doing the monthly vlogs last year. I think December was my last one because I wanted to really rechannel the time into working on the music and the art and the creativity and the personal development and all of that stuff. And doing the vlogs on a monthly basis was becoming a bit of a distraction from all of that, from the important stuff. So it was time to sort of pare back on the vlog updates and only do them for important big news events like my album, STARSEEDS Wanted, Enquire Within, finally being out, which is so exciting. It came out on Friday, the 28th of March, 2025, and it's an experimental electronic album, as you will know if you've been following the vlog for a while. It's been more than a year in the making now and involves a number of fantastic collaborations that were so fun to engage with people on, and I'm so stoked with how the album has come out. And Dees, of course, the audio engineer who did all of the mixing and mastering, did a phenomenal job, as he always does. He's mixed and mastered a number of my releases, and he always just goes above and beyond, and STARSEEDS Wanted Enquire Within was no exception. He was an absolute champion, working on it with me for a span of months, just ensuring everything was right, everything was balanced, and all of these different collaborations from so many different people were able to interweave seamlessly across the whole album. And that was just a real testament to Dees's brilliance in audio engineering, I think, as well as his collaborative spirit and openness to working on things together. And so massive thank you, of course, to Dee. And it definitely, the album would not be what it is without him. I can't imagine having worked on it with anybody else. He's just been fantastic. And of course, as I mentioned, all of the other collaborators who kindly gave their time and their genius to working on specific tracks with me. There is a series called Lucky 13 that we have 3 different producers' takes on, and all of them are so different, and I absolutely love them all. We've got Neon's role, and we've got Okaden's role, and we've got L's role scattered across the album, kind of as little chapter markers, I think is how L described it when they gave a listen to the album. And yeah, it was so cool being able to give a different flavor to Lucky 13 through each different person, and it ended up sounding fresh and engaging every time. And also I had a really cool collaboration with Jude from ASC back in ASC days. And that one is a really, really interesting kind of combination singing and spoken piece that has a lot of really interesting section transitions, and it was so fun to work on that with Jude as well. And that one was produced by, we'll call them a mystery helper, and that's how I've sort of indicated them on the album credits, because the producer for my collaboration with Jude, called I.O., was produced by the same person who produced Starspin, but that person has requested to be sort of uncredited for these releases. And then in terms of other production help, I had Becky Witten, aka Afer, in to produce Satin in Chinos, which is the lead single, the focus track of STARSEEDS Wanted Enquire Within. And it is a very special track to me, because it just is a testament to so much that I've hoped to accomplish with the album, as well as my journey in music. And it's also going to be my very first professionally filmed music video, I should say. And that's coming later on in April. I've got Leong Chan directing, producing, videographing, I don't know, how do you pronounce that? The Satin in Chinos music video, kind of in consultation and partially filmed at a friend of mine, my movement coach, actually, Jess, her studio. So we have that fantastic connection through Jess, actually, is how I met Leong. She said he was brilliant with music videos and just videography and direction and production in general, and absolutely he is. I'm so excited with how the music video has evolved in Leong's hands, and I'm going to be super, super excited to put that out into the world here on this channel later this month, later in April. So really exciting stuff. And beyond that, the album also includes a couple of my other previous singles, including another ASC collaboration with Michael Wheeler called Random Number that came out about this time last year, actually. So that's on the album. And also just some other singles that I've had out previously, like Square Root -1, that's on the album. And Starspin, as I mentioned, is on the album. And then going all the way back to 2023, Midday Blue, which I had Emily, my vocal teacher, doing piano on, as well as Paul Wire on acoustic guitar, who's another ASC connection, actually. And that was so much fun too. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff. What haven't I mentioned on the album? Oh yeah, the intro track, a little less than 1 minute, sort of impromptu. Actually, I think I put the first little demo of it up here last January. It was a really spur of the moment, recorded and mixed and then chucked online here as a little demo, all in the same day, all in one sitting. Really, that was the one where I just was randomly having morning coffee and accidentally banged the laptop stand with my coffee cup, I think it was, and I just was like, wait, that's a really cool sound. And then I just sort of had this like random percussion jam session and recorded it that morning with my coffee. And then I liked it so much that I sort of mixed it all together, sort of tweaked things here and there, and ended up with this really cool, what has ended up being the intro track to the album, called Do You Remember? So that one's first up. The second track on the album is Starspin, which I released in December last year. The third track is the lead single, Saturn in Chinos, everything is mixed and mastered by Deese, but production on that one was by Becky. And also, a really funny story with that one. If you've already seen the album, you'll notice the very last track number 11, is actually, I've called it a lyricless vocal jam version of Saturn in Chinos. And that one was taken basically when I was listening to Becky's instrumental production of Saturn in Chinos when we were still sort of working on the draft together. She sent the instrumental through and I was listening, and I just sort of randomly recorded a couple of takes of me just playing around with vocal backing ideas as her instrumental production of Saturn in Chinos played through. And so I did 2 takes of me just sort of doing totally random vocal backing playtime ideas. When that was done, I layered both of those spontaneous takes over top of each other and then played it through, overlaid with the instrumental track. And I liked it so much, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put an alternate vocal jam version of this on the album, and that's what I've done. So that's track 11, Saturn in Chinos lyricless vocal jam, spontaneous gen sounds to Becky's production of Saturn in Chinos instrumental. So yeah, fun times. Have had so much fun doing all of this stuff, and I'm just really intrigued to learn what people think. I've already had some fantastic feedback, and everyone seems to have a different set of favorites off the album as well, which I always love to hear about. I think at this stage, nearly every track has been declared as someone's favorite or one of their favorites, which is so exciting for me. It means that I have succeeded in creating an album that speaks to people in different ways on different levels, and that is so heartening for me to learn about. So I will chuck, of course, links to the various options for listening to it if you are interested. It's on Bandcamp as well as Soundcloud and all of the mainstream popular platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Deezer, YouTube Music, Tidal. I'm did I say Amazon? Yeah, it's on all of those usual ones. And anyway, I'll pop the links down there so you can find them on whichever platforms you so choose. And like I mentioned, I've got a music video for the lead single Saturn in Chinos coming up later this month in kind of late-ish April, I'm thinking, which I'm so excited about. It's going to be amazing. And I guess that's my big news. That's my big update for the moment. 2025 is shaping up to be fantastic at this end. So exciting. I've already started thinking about what's next. I definitely want to explore more beyond just the sort of audio. I want to introduce more visual elements and performance to my work moving forward. And I've got some ideas percolating on that front, as well as kind of more of my philosophy and outlooks and questioning of reality. I think that is an important part of who I am, and that also is going to play a more central role in the work that I do moving forward. So, the sun is changing position, and the screen is okay. Hopefully that'll work. Apologies also for the wind sounds. As you can see, it's a rather windy day here at the seaside, but hopefully you can still mostly hear what I'm saying. I guess you wouldn't still be here if you couldn't. So thank you for sticking around, and hopefully this was a fun little update. I don't know when I will update next or what I will be updating about, but I'm sure it will be just as fun. Hopefully it will be just as fun. And I will look forward to catching up with you then. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy Starseeds Wanted, Enquire Within.